Hi, welcome back. So we started discussing about Ansible automation training. So as part of today's class, we are going to discuss about Ansible introduction. What is Ansible? Why we need Ansible? We will go one by one in about Ansible. All right, let's go inside. What is automation? Before going inside actual these tools, Ansible, Terraform, these tools, first of all, you need to understand what is automation. Okay, so many people still they have a confusion on automation as well as what is orchestration, right? Say for example, daily you are going to office and you need to do task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4. Okay, maybe task 1 is for some file copy, or task 2 is going to be some file copy back, or task 3 is going to be some restore, task 4. So these task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4, you are going to repeatedly have to do in every day, right? So automation means you know what is task 1, you know what is task 2, you know what is task 3, you know what is task 4, right? So put all this in one single file, right? So you execute this script, right? So if I execute this script, task 1 will executed, task 2 will be executed, task 3 will be executed, task 4 also will be executed, right? So combining all tasks in one single script called automation, right? Then what is orchestration, right? So there is a small difference. Say for example, task 1 has to complete. So before task 1 complete, there is some parameter which has to trigger task 2, right? After task 2 completely finished, then only task 3 has to start. When task 3 is starting, during some condition, task 4 also has to start. So you are creating the workflow, right? That is called orchestration. So automation means you are doing multiple tasks on single time. Orchestration means which task has to execute on what condition, when, right? That is orchestration. So you need to have clear cut understanding what is meant by automation, what is meant by orchestration, right? So, and another concept people has to understand is what is mutable, what is immutable before going to the automation tools, right? So there are a lot of debates happening between Ansible versus Terraform, right? People has to understand Terraform is meant for different purpose, Ansible is meant for different purpose, right? So Terraform, it will not have any tolerance to troubleshoot. If you release something, you remove it and release the new image, right? So most of those similar cases, you need to use Terraform. That means Terraform will be more suitable on update or destroy or create. These three situation you can use Terraform. Create, right? Create and update. This is update and destroy. So if you have frequently you need to do these three tasks, then you need to have Terraform, right? Whenever you have to have some situation where configuration management have to change, or you need to replace something, right? So you need to start use Ansible, right? So Ansible is always mutable, Terraform is always immutable. We'll go and see more example. So Terraform mostly suitable for orchestration. Ansible is more suitable on configuration management, right? Let's go further. So Terraform, Ansible, via Ansible, you are already having one VM. In that VM, you are having OS version 1 and app version 1. You are doing some changes, right? In the existing setup, right? So you need to reboot to make these changes take effect. That is Ansible, right? So when comes into Terraform, I have this version and this OS. Okay, but I have to release new version, right? Don't worry, you get rid of this and launch the new version, right? So this image is different, this image is different. This is called Terraform, right? This is immutable infrastructure, right? So let's go further. One more example, right? This is the example. So here also mutable. This is going to be Ansible. So you are creating it and you are already have the build. Okay, in that build you are deploying the code, configuring it, testing it, right? But when you comes to Terraform, you are configuring it, there are predefined images, right? So you call the necessary version image and to provision, right? So again, the Terraform is more suitable on frequently if you want to create the builds. So orchestrate the builds, provision the builds, right? So mutable, immutable, you need to understand must, because you are about to enter core DevOps, right? Come down. Why we need orchestration, right? So when comes into CI/CD pipeline, in previous training sessions, we have discussed about DevOps tools, right? So you are defining where to download the code and then compile it the code. You have to compile the code, and then you need to build the code. You need to build the code, and then you need to create the WAR file, and then you need to deploy into web server, and then you need to monitor it, you need to send the alerts, everything, right? So the task, there is a dependency, as well as you need to have carefully align this task, when to do on what condition, right? So this kind of a workflow you need to create as a orchestration, right? So that is why you need to have a difference. You need to clearly understand the difference between automation and orchestration, and also mutable and immutable. Come down. Now we are actually coming to our class. What is Ansible? Ansible is configuration management, right? This is the major headache on any project or any production environment, because even if you have hundreds servers, then on day-to-day basis, the configuration changes. It's really massive, right? So Ansible will help you to achieve in a matter of seconds. All you need to do is you need to define the task, you need to create the necessary playbooks or reusable roles. Orchestration also is possible. Of course, Ansible is not agent based, it's agentless, and it was written by Michael Tikhon, and it was built by Python. So it is almost supporting all the tools. Most of the top tools are supported by Ansible. So Ansible is creating a playbooks. If you go inside the playbook, there is a lot of play. Each play, you can call it as this play one, that is task one. This is task two. This is task three. So if you go to one production playbook, you will see a huge number of tasks, right? And then work is pushed to remote host. So this is the Ansible server. We will see the architecture very shortly. So this is the Ansible server. I have a lot of clients, right? So from here, I'm sending the instruction. That's all. So the instruction will be executed and it will report back to Ansible server, right? So modules also installed in Ansible server for each functionality. And Ansible is immediately useful if you have hundreds of core modules. If you really want to manage huge environment on a day-to-day system administration, then Ansible is perfectly your choice. Come down. As I said, there is no agent based, and important. Basically, Ansible, if you have hundreds of servers, right, you are executing on playbook. What will do is it will go and check if this is already fulfilled, it will not touch. If this is not fulfilled, automatically it will try to implement. So this is one of the major feature for Ansible. right? The same way here also. What is your state of the machine, right? So that state of the machine Ansible will ensure, because you already instructed in the playbook. Ansible is most of the freshers or those who are working in a different domains. Before you come to Ansible, people have started worrying on, I don't know programming. First of all, you need to understand Ansible is not a programming. Of course, there are a lot of advanced custom module. You need to have core understanding on Python. But what I'm saying is 85% task, you no need programming skill set. All you need is, if you have good understanding on Linux administration, then via Ansible, you can achieve almost 85% of the task. You can go through it. Come down. So you can install Ansible in one server. Either you can call it as a server, but as per Ansible terminology, people will call it as control node. We will see architecture very shortly. So Ansible use SSH key or SSH username password to access all managed node or Ansible client. We used to say managed node or clients. So no client process. Whenever you execute, it will try to connect and implement it. No demand. Of course, there is no agent, right? So you run a command, sit back and relax. You will get the output, whether it is success or failure. So Ansible is data driven, right? As I said, there is no programming. All you need to do is you need to write a configuration file like a YAML. It's not a programming. It's like a programming, but it's not. So why Ansible? People have started preferring most of the environments. Means in any of the project, we will have dev, staging, UAT, and SIT, and pre-prod, prod. There are a lot of environments. It depends on the customer, right? So you have many systems, many servers, right? So the web servers or DB server or mail server or application server. Even there is a lot of clustering. So each server will have a number of groups. So each group have to be maintained, like patching, security on day-to-day changes, everything. These are all the problems you can achieve easily through Ansible. And even security update, as I said, there is a bug fix. Even you can add the new environment as per your compliance project. Then using Ansible, it's really matter of seconds. In Ansible, you can go for configuration management. Most of the projects now, orchestration, they started using Terraform. But of course, Ansible also, couple of orchestration you can achieve. We will see a couple of use cases also as part of this class. Security compliance, mainly Ansible is helping out, and continuous delivery also Ansible is helping out, and especially deployment, Ansible is very well helping. Go to further one. So this is the sample architecture. So this is the Ansible server. We used to say control node. This is the Ansible clients, right? We used to say manage nodes. So in Ansible terminology, we need to say control node and manage node. But in general, this is the Ansible server. This is the Ansible clients. This can be Windows machine. This can be any Linux machine, any client. All you need to do is you need to attach it with the Ansible server. So there is one more simple architecture. So in Ansible server, you need to maintain the host inventory as a groups or as a standalone, and you need to create a playbook or standalone playbooks or roles, also reusable roles. So Ansible server, you pick up which missions you want to apply on which playbook you want to apply. So call the playbook, call the host group. Automatically Ansible will target, connect to those missions and execute this playbook. That's it. So once you execute it, it will provide the detailed output and session will be closed. This is a major advantage in Ansible. And playbooks, as I said, playbooks contain plays, and each play contains task, and each task contains one module. We'll see in detail, hands-on, one by one. So configuration management also, it's a really straightforward. you need to do from the server to clients, either you need a password or through SSH keys. Your connection will be established. Once the connection is established, the triggered playbook, in playbook, whatever task you mentioned using the relevant modules will be executed, and final result will be sent back to Ansible server. So this is the simple playbook. So here you mentioned some host group, right? So if you go to inventory, you need to find out what is the servers mentioned in this group. Those servers will be applicable these two play. This is play 1, this is play 2. So this is task 1, this is task 2. Task 1 they are using M module, task 2 they are using service module. This is how you need to understand. So we will see how to construct this playbook. First 4 lines up to this you need to have some difficulty. If you do a couple of times, Ansible is pretty much really easy. I'm clearing it out. What is the configuration? See, Ansible can have own configuration. You can have multiple shared one as well as group as well as standalone host. These are all you can maintain it, and also host inventory, right? You can either maintain the standalone or shared. And modules also, most of the modules already available, but if you want to have custom modules, you can create it, right? Custom modules can help you to achieve multiple tasks in one single execution, right? Let's go further. Of course, the playbooks, just now we discussed about one sample playbook. We will see in hands-on with multiple scenarios, right? Connection plugins. So you need to have native SSH and Promico SSH and local. We'll see it. Plugins. Of course, you will have multiple plugins available in Ansible. And Ansible software, that is Ansible server, right? So here, as per Ansible, control means it's server, right? So a machine control node will have Python 2.6 as well as Python 2.7. Nowadays, the latest version, Python 3 also started supporting, right? Red Hat, I just mentioned Red Hat, but it will also, you can install Ansible control node, Ansible server in Ubuntu or any of the Linux platforms, right? But the clients can be Windows, but the control node, that is the Ansible server, can be in Linux platforms. So SSH has to be enabled either using the key. Mostly the production prefer to go with keys. So you need to have some managed hosts. You using the Ansible factors, you can collect the information about who you are, right? We will see what is the Ansible factors. And Ansible can help on provisioning servers. Basically, the server once provisioned, it will intact as per your project policy. How the server has to be looks like. Either you can go with golden images using Terraform, but even Ansible also make sure how the server you are expecting, right? The rolling upgrade also is possible. And serialization. Serialization is, I want to execute one playbook, one task at a time, right? So I don't want to execute in a parallel. Of course, parallel also possible, but I want to have serial execution. This is also possible. There is a parameter you need to change in the playbook. We will see it in the hands-on upcoming sessions. And control node. The control node, as I said, it's an Ansible server. Python 2.7 and Python 3 can be supported. And Ansible server, only you have to install Ansible, right? So Ansible server, from there, it will instruct using the modules, the necessary commands to the all managed nodes, right? So there are a lot of modules, but you can classify as per your easy understanding. There are cloud related modules, clustering related modules, commands related modules. These are all major portion, right? You can divide all the modules, any one of these categories. And output, So you are running the Ansible ad hoc command, Ansible -m ping test servers. So this is the group. Basically, in this group, there is a 2 machines, right? This group definition you have to define in the inventory. So in the inventory, there are 2 machines. From Ansible server, from this output, you can understand Ansible server, which is control node, and the manage node 1, manage node 2. This is manage node 1, this is manage node 2, are in sync via Ansible. So Ansible can able to reach these 2 managed nodes without any issues, which means your Ansible environment setup is correct. And there is another command, right, which is uptime. So you can run the local host, or you can call the group as per the inventory. What will happen is, if you call the group, this command will go to inventory and will refer the group. If that group is having 100 servers, automatically this command will be executed in 100 servers, and you will see each server output here itself. So sitting Ansible server, it's like sitting 100 servers. And the Ansible commands, you can, this is what I said, the factors. You can easily collect who are they. They means manage node. Manage node means Ansible client, right? We'll see how to create a custom based playbooks. I want to create my own instruction based on the condition. I want to perform something. I want to install something. I want to remove something. I want to apply something. These are all pretty much very easy through Ansible factors. So Ansible Tower, we will see this with last with 1 or 2 functionalities. So how to install Ansible Tower, how to configure Ansible Tower via Ansible Tower, how to achieve the same. Whatever we are doing through playbook, how to do the same through Ansible Tower. See, Ansible Tower is somewhat higher level, right? You can do everything what you are doing through command line, but Ansible Tower, you can manage, say, for example, you have a multiple projects. You have this is the Ansible server, but you have a project 1. This project is having 100 servers. So project 2, right? So this project is having 100 servers. Or another scenario, project 1 is having 5 environments. Each environment is having 100 servers. These kind of heterogeneous environments or crash platforms through Ansible Tower, it's easily manageable, right? So Ansible documentation. So we will see this, but not in the documentation way. What we will do is, through Ansible modules, I will help you to understand how to achieve this without referring any documentation. If you have a machine, if you have Ansible installed, from the help itself, you can achieve everything. You don't need to memorize it. First of all, Ansible, you don't memorize anything. If you struck, you go to help, because the reason I'm making you to access help every time is, if you are good in the current version, it's fine, but they are keep on releasing further versions, right? So you cannot have the same command, at least small difference. So always stick with Ansible help. So Ansible help will be accessible if you install Ansible package. The package itself will have the inbuilt functionality, which will help you to understand very easily. So stay tuned. We will come up with hands-on from next class onwards. So all you need to do is, you need to access the step, which I'm going to put it in the GitHub. You need to have open the video, and you need to set up the lab, and you need to practice parallelly and remove it. Again, you do 1 or 2 times each and every hands-on, you do it, so that you know what is happening. Even if you're not working in Ansible project, you do this couple of times, you can project yourself as you have a experience in Ansible. Thanks. We'll meet further classes.